Good evening, I'm Melissa Kemp,
And I'm Jeremy Shu,
and this is 180 Seconds.
with the Hadley Lab on species in peril.
Does deforestation affect wildlife, even in the rainforest? Let's hear from Stanford graduate student Luke Frischkoff.
Luke, what's genetic diversity?
Genetic diversity serves as a way for populations to adapt to a changing environment. So with more variation, it's more likely that some individuals in a population will possess traits that are suited to the new environment.
Hi, I'm Danny Karp, and I'm one of the Hadley Lab members reporting to you guys from Costa Rica. And we're out here looking for Centraline persiblicon, one of our study organisms, the glass frog. And here you can see we've found a pair. They're locked in the eternal embrace. This one on top is the male, and he's got these little spokes on his arms to hold on to the slippery female. Now this is one of the organisms that we're trying to study and figure out how the genetic diversity is changing as this land use changes in Costa Rica.
That's all the time we can spare frogs. Species in peril can be found closer to home. We turn now to Katie Solari, researching in the Great Basin and recording the plight of adorable animals called pikas.
Pikas are relatives of rabbits and hares that live at high elevations in both North America and Asia. They are very sensitive to high temperatures, and because of this sensitivity, rising temperatures have acted very much like rising waters, forcing pika populations to move higher and higher in elevation to escape the heat. One problem that arises in having these pika populations isolated from each other is that they begin to lose genetic diversity, which is imperative to the population's health and persistence. What we do to help these pikas in peril is to non-invasively collect genetic samples from the separate populations to assess their genetic diversity, which can be used to structure conservation plans that will most effectively maintain and increase this diversity.
Viewers, those are the poster children for what climate change can do.
This just in, an eruption in Chile. The Puyehue volcano is covering the countryside in ash after decades of dormancy. How can volcanoes affect genetic diversity? Now we turn to Hannah Frank.
What I have here is the jawbone of an animal that lived thousands of years ago. The same species is still alive today. It's called the social tuco, and it lives in Patagonia. These rodents live underground and are one of the few truly social species on Earth. Our lab found out that 3,000 years ago there was a volcanic eruption that drove the social tuco from the cave where we found this jaw, and it also left the population with very little genetic diversity. We are now rushing down with our collaborators from UC Berkeley to examine the population's genetic diversity and to determine whether the species can weather this eruption too.
This has been 180 seconds, and we're just about out of time.
And these species are also running out of time.
But equipped with knowledge of genetic diversity, scientists can turn back the clock. And you too can make a difference. Team up with the Hadley Lab, visit their website, and support their pressing research efforts.
Even a few dollars can make a difference.